We're noticing a major shift currently happening within the crypto markets. If you look at the banter bubbles over here, you can see one thing that stands tall amongst them all. That is double-digit gains on the altcoin sector on the daily time frame. So it is all happening right here, right now. We have the crypto and altcoin breakout in real time. But more importantly than that, we're seeing a signal that we've waited for years, and it is taking place right now. And that is fall of the Bitcoin dominance, breaking down over there from that all-important 61.5% target that we had all the way into the order block overhead, and we're starting to break below this trend line over here, which is also your rising wedge over here, which is traditionally a bearish chart pattern. So you're seeing a massive repricing from Bitcoin and all other stable coins into the altcoin sector, where the majority of the big gains will be found. So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get straight into the content, right? Dip, no dip, as Cyber Sneaker says over there. No dip, no dip. Just like I told you multiple times over the last couple of days, the dips will be shallow and the pumps will be very, very aggressive, right? So you want to remain in the market at all times at this point in the cycle. This is the parabolic advancement phase, and it's not the time and the place to be trying to time the market, right? You want to spend time in the market at this point of the market cycle. Otherwise, you will be left behind, and it is all happening right now. This is the final call for what may be your last opportunity to get exposure before the much anticipated altcoin season does actually take place. So again, guys, smash the like button. Let's get straight into the show content. This was the early warning sign that we've been looking at. We did focus on this on some of the low time frames, like the 3-day time frame as well. And we officially got the 3 candle closes, right? 1, 2, 3 consecutive red candles over there on a 3-day time frame. That is a high time frame signal, with the 4th candle on the 3-day chart now opening red and accelerating towards the downside, right? And if you look on the weekly, I guess that will be your full-on confirmation if we can get yet another week. So this week closing red and another week closing red with prices coming down lower. You should see a massive drop over there in the Bitcoin dominance, which will create a repricing into the altcoin sector, where that money is, of course, flowing from Bitcoin into the altcoin sector. And that's where we expect the big, bold altcoin season to take place, just like we've seen in the price cycles, right? 3 candles in favor of Bitcoin dominance either holding sideways or going up, followed by the 4th candle with a big drop, right? So 1, 2, 3, Bitcoin dominance rises, 4th candle, Bitcoin dominance drops, and again 1, 2, and 3, and we're expecting the 4th candle, a big drop to take place over there, which of course means the altcoins do rally in that type of environment, right? And we can verify this. As you see the Bitcoin dominance dropping off, you should see continuation and gains occurring within the others charts. Others refers to the top altcoins. So it's, if you look at the coin market cap or CoinGecko index list of all the various different coins, and miners is the top 10 coins, including those stable coins, right? And this is what we're seeing over here. Your big cup and handle formation, traditionally a very, very bullish chart pattern over there. Big cup and handle formation. There's your cup, there's your handle. You're breaking out of that handle right now. And now we're looking for acceleration into this phase over here, which could potentially take this up in terms of percentages. You'd be looking at the others, which is your altcoin sector, rapidly increasing about another 88%, which means if you throw a dart at a board and try and pick any old altcoin, chances are you're going to make almost double your money in the coming days and weeks, but only if you act very, very soon, right? We're starting to get that confirmation of the breakout. We can look at the total 3 chart as well, which you can see is already full force into that breakout, also from the cup and handle formation. And we're looking at this rising to get above the prior all-time highs. That becomes the next pivot point or tipping point, right? When you start to see the price holding above this level, that should lead to rapid acceleration to the next zone. And really, this is what we've been waiting for a very, very long time, right? So it's exactly what we've been waiting for. Let's have a look over here at total 3 measured against Bitcoin, possibly one of the most important charts out there, because this actually shows you, should you be holding Bitcoin or should you be holding altcoins? It's not only looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart in isolation, but we need to see the relationship between all other cryptocurrencies measured against Bitcoin, and we're getting the signal. I told you it's very unlikely that you're going to come down into the 0.33 level, which is where the prior cycles found their bottom before altcoins started to outperform. And in this cycle, you can see right now we were targeting this break of structure. You've officially got that break of structure, right? We do need to see some candle closes occur at this level or higher to actually confirm this. But so far, so good. It looks like it's all coming together exactly according to plan. And if we look at the others chart, it's doing the same thing, right? A lot of people would have been targeting this trend line, a multi-year trend line, which is where altcoins tended to outperform in the alt season began, right? When you hit that trend line and move up, that was your alt season, that was your alt season. And a lot of people would have wanted that. But I said it's unlikely to come, right? I think that you're going to very quickly see people front run based on the prior data, right? Remember, now we have all this other information to work with, whereas in the other cycles previously, we only had touch point 1 and 2, right? Now we have touch point 1, 2, and 3, which means that it was kind of obvious that a lot of people were going to start to front run this idea and start to reprice into altcoins. So breaking structure over there, it is looking good. Now, theoretically, you don't need to necessarily chase because you could get price pushing up over here, eventually breaking back below that trend line or this horizontal over here to then create the first major high low, right? And then you could theoretically get into the market at that point in time. But in the short term, there's still going to be a whole lot of gains that are going to be coming your way if you are exposed to the altcoin sector. Very quickly, before we move on into the rest of the analysis and the altcoins, I have to remind you the Black Friday special is about to come to an end. I would recommend pause the video, try and take advantage while there is still the opportunity. You have 41 minutes left to jump into Whale Room, which is part of the wealthiest traders in the world. We actually ran a poll there, and we have multiple 𝗕𝗫𝗬𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗕, meaning people that are worth over $10 million or more in their trading portfolio. And then we have also probably over 100 different people that voted that they're trading with $1 million or more. So if you want to be part of the wealthiest trading community in the world, there it is, Whale Room. Go and have a look. There's a link in the description below. You're getting 42% off for Black Friday. That's the biggest special that you'll ever see. We'll never, ever, ever give you a better price than what you're getting right now. The prices are going to go up drastically from tomorrow, right? So use the link in the description below, sign up while you can. And then for those of you who are looking for a free source of information, which comes from Whale Room, we also write an article over here. And since price is moving so quickly, I think it's time to mentally prepare and get strategies in place so that you can determine how to spot bearish candlestick patterns and how to essentially sell the top. We've given 13 different ways that as the market begins to explode towards the upside, we just wrote this article. It came out today. You can see 30th of November. Use the link in the description below. If you go over here, let's just quickly show you where everything is. You'll see over there, there's Whale Room. That will take you to the Whale Room page over here where you can sign up. And if you click a little bit further down and you go through to the newsletter, there it is. The newsletter, you're clicking on Whale Crypto Trades. If you go through to Whale Crypto Trades, it's going to take you through to this page over here. We do give you bonus trades in this fully for free, right? Completely for free. There is bonus trades in there if you do want those. We are here to prep you, right? So currently, all of our positions are up massively on Bybit. We have 6 for 6 every single trade in profit, raking in tens of thousands of dollars worth of profits with hundreds of % gains on all of our various coins. We have Zeus, Aptos, Prime, Vulcan Forge, Jasmy, and Render, right? Render bringing us in over $10,000 worth of profit in this trade alone. So looking really, really good. Remember, we've opened up trades across multiple different platforms. And part of the reason for that is also because I want to win a Bitcoin on the Win a Bitcoin competition. And that's one of the criteria. And the other reason is due to the low liquidity within the market, right? Sometimes some exchange, you might have those scam wicks, which will take you out of positions. So consequently, I like to spread my risk, right? You can see I have the Render trade open on both exchanges over here. I have 242% up on WeX Render trade, $10,000 also in profit on that. So Arweave, Turbo is the only trade that we have that's down, but I have no doubt that's going to be coming back. We have Near over here as the next trade. Also doing super, super well. We're up $15,000 on that trade. We have Ton, BTC, Phantom, WIF, Pepe, and Arbitrum. So our trades are raking in some massive profits. All of this, again, was dropped in the Whale Room Discord way ahead of time. And a lot of these you actually got a chance to get into on the show. So congratulations to each and every single one of you who are profitable. I do want to remind you that if you do sign up to these exchanges, Bybit, 𝗕𝗥𝗬𝗕𝗙𝗓 and 𝗫𝗲𝗓 over here, which is a non-KYC exchange, so you don't have to give your personal info, you will automatically have the opportunity to be entered into the Banter Bags giveaway, right? So the Banter Bags giveaway is where we give away these IDOs, seed round investments, and simultaneously you can come through over here to win a Bitcoin, right? Each of these exchange links qualifies you for that. You come and you guess the price of what Bitcoin will be by the 1st of January. The closest guess will win. Now, you might think to yourself, well, why don't you just wait until the 30th of December and then you can put in your guess? Well, the reason why is because the sooner you join now, the better. You can put in a new guess every single week with each of those exchanges, right? So that means you can spread your guesses, which gives you a better chance of being correct, right? So use the link in the description below, sign up over there. And beyond the Bitcoin dominance breakdown over here, we're also seeing the breakdown of the USDT dominance chart, right? Now, there are some key levels that we need to focus on, right? What are the validations? What are the invalidations? Where are the targets in place, right? Well, firstly, invalidation for me would be now we've dropped the level, because as price comes down, we start to change the levels of resistance and where the next areas of support are coming into play. And this would be the level, right? I wouldn't want to see any of these USDT dominance candles trading back above the prior ones over here on a closing basis. That would be 4.37%. So as long as we continue to hang below here, we can start to move towards the next targets, which are going to be the pink ones over here. That's 3.79 to 3.63. Now, it might seem like it's really close as a percentage. You know, this is between about a 5 and a 10% drop. But understand, a 5 to 10% drop in the USDT dominance can absolutely double-digit pump the majority of the altcoins. And you could easily see Bitcoin rallying up to about $125,000 in that environment. So part of our base case has been that we might see Bitcoin run to about $125,000. Find major resistance over there while we start to see major support being found on the USDT dominance and extreme euphoria coming back into the market, at which point we may set in a local top, come back down and set in a macro higher low. So therefore, that could be the profit-taking environment. But I will update all of you that are in whale room. For now, we are long and strong. 100% long has been the name of the game, and we haven't changed our tune. We've been stuck on that thesis for quite some time, and therefore I'll let you know when we close those trades. Another interesting thing that I've been focusing on over here is the DXY, right? That is the dollar index. Now, they're not entirely inversely correlated to each other, which means typically when the DXY goes up in a macro run, you tend to see crypto and risk on assets struggle. And when it goes down, you tend to see crypto and risk on assets run very, very hard. So theoretically, we want to see this come down, but we did in fact have this entire bullish move on Bitcoin while the DXY was running up over here. So the way that I like to think about this is kind of like just extra wind in the sail, right? If we do see the DXY breaking down over here, although crypto and Bitcoin are already going up, it's just like putting a little bit of a tailwind behind the sale to get that extra momentum towards the upside for crypto. So pay attention to these levels, as we did see, you know, the deviation of the ranges over here, and we may be getting yet another deviation, which will drop this back down. But it has high implications if we do see a proper drop over here on the larger scale, like the weekly time frame. You can see breaking back down below those levels and getting below the gray box over here means you'll be simultaneously losing the mid-range, right? The mid-range of this massive multi-decade parallel channel. Break that and send this towards the downside. We have historically seen these cycle bottoms actually occur for crypto, right? These are the bear market bottoms when the DXY bottoms out. So it would be good to see this, you know, maybe drop like that, and then we'll set in somewhere near this, maybe around the mid-range. If you look at the gray levels, that's range high, range low, somewhere around the mid-range, which simultaneously lines up with the bottom of this parallel channel. Maybe somewhere around there is where we find our bear market low in the next cycle, right? So we'll keep an eye out on that. Nevertheless, we want to watch that drop to bring us that extra wind in the back of our sails. The other thing we want to have a look at over here is the crypto market cap RSI heat map, which you can see a big bounce from a couple of weeks ago. It was in the oversold to weak territory, now moving from neutral into slightly strong. This is where your trending moves start to take place, and this is where your altcoins begin to rally. And that's why we have to ask ourselves, you know, is it altcoin season yet? Well, I've said this for a long time. I've said that if you're waiting for this indicator to full on signal that it is altcoin season, and the way this indicator works is it looks at the top 100 altcoins And ultimately, you need to see the majority of those top 100 altcoins completely outperforming Bitcoin. If that's usually the sign that you're waiting for, the chances are you're a little bit too late, which is why I said in the title of today's show, it's the final call. It's happening right now. Crypto and altcoin mega breakout is about to take place. And this is kind of your last opportunity to gain that exposure, right? And the reason why I say you're a little bit too late if you wait for this to actually signal full on altcoin season is because have a look at the prior data. What have you noticed over here? Well, usually by the time this pushes into the red zone, now let's turn off the green so it doesn't confuse you. The red zone popping on and off the charts on the top end over there, when you see this altcoin season index, the red line moving into that red zone, that by the definition is what they call altcoin season. But if you also study this a little bit closer, what you'll notice is that most of the time you see Bitcoin already topping out by the time altcoins come and put in their run, which means it becomes very, very short-lived. So you want to be exposed beforehand, which kind of now is as these alts are moving from their neutral zone into their strong zone. It's the same thing over here. You're moving from the neutral zone, the 50 line running through horizontally across the screen over here into the 60 to 70 mark, which is where those trending moves begin to take place, which is why we preemptively started to build these positions up already ahead of time, weeks and weeks ago. And we're going to hold these into the thousands of % profit, right? So it is looking really, really good. Everything's following exactly according to plan. And we expect that to occur during periods of extreme greed, right? Extreme greed typically leads to altcoin season because this is the most risky thing that an individual can do is dabble in the altcoin sector. And especially when they're doing it late in a crypto cycle, which is kind of what they would be doing right now. If you're entering into the market, into altcoins right now, Bitcoin is nearing I don't want to say it's nearing a top, but let's just say that Bitcoin doesn't have as much upside left. It's probably already completed about 65 to 75% of its entire move. And as you look for that to fizzle out, that's where we see the drop in the Bitcoin dominance because people realize that there's not that much more opportunity left to long Bitcoin, right? There's not much upside. Maybe you got 50%, maybe 150% at the absolute most. Give or take, you're saying on average then, maybe you can do a double, right? But I've showcased to you how you could see altcoins double in the space of just a couple of days, right? You can just look at this, right? This is one day, hype up 68%, ENS up 27%. Therefore, your maximum opportunity right now lies in that altcoin sector, and you probably want to be exposed as the market continues to hold in these greedy zones. Now, if you look at the greedy zones over here, I've highlighted it with the green popping on and off the screen over there. If you're on a mobile device, you might have to zoom in. I can do it for you. There it is. If you zoom in over here, once you print those periods of greed on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, you tend to lead into that parabolic advancement, right? So we've spoken about this. We said we've just started to print those green. It would really be good to see us continue to remain in this greed zone as Bitcoin goes vertical, and then we see the altcoins absolutely go ballistic. So everything is truly following exactly according to plan. We couldn't have played it any better. Honestly, a big congratulations to each and every one of you. But understand the way that the cycles work and how things look. This is what you'd be focused on. This is what you look at, right? You go through these various different phases over here. You go through the momentum phase. This was the shakeout during COVID. Of course, price runs, right? You're going to momentum building, which is pretty similar to where I'd say we're at now. And then you lead into the first extreme sentiment phase. This is a macro bull market, right? Multi-year bull market that you're looking at. You come down into the bear market, also labeled as the bear trap, right? Renewed optimism when Bitcoin started to break back above $25,000. And now we've started to enter into the FOMO zone. And from FOMO, you lead into full-on euphoria, which could very quickly double Bitcoin's price, right? So there's a lot that we need to be focused on over here since the major opportunity will be in the altcoin sector. Now, is it true that it would be leading into altcoin season based beyond just this chart? If we look into the sentiment factors, well, another sentiment indicator that I'll use is the most simplistic and objective at the same time. And that's very, very simple, right? Are new people coming into crypto, right? We know that old people who were here in the previous cycle and probably bought the top are now returning because they're seeing some signs of hope where they could potentially, get that renewed optimism for their own portfolios where they bought at the top here. They're starting to re-enter into profit if they continue to hold and they never actually sold those positions. But the question is is there new market participants coming in? And that's what we really need to see in order to have continuation of these pumps. And the most objective thing I think I can look at is simply get where they get their ultimate source of information, and that's on YouTube, right? Are there new YouTube subscribers which are coming in across the various different crypto channels? These are the main crypto channels within the space that tend to drive that retail adoption. And you can see the answer is absolutely yes. There have been new retail participants subscribing, not just watching the channel. We know that the views have gone up, but subscribing to the channel is a big thing, right? So subscribe to this channel as well, guys. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Put the bell notification on, like the channel. It's a great help to us to get the show content out there. Ultimately, though, where do we start to get really wary? Well, if we start to see those YouTube subscribers taking out what we saw in the previous cycle top over here, which you can see was we're nowhere near eclipsing that. We want to see this eclipse the price cycle. You can see we've just started to tick up over here. We've had multiple of these ticks as the bull market progresses, right? So the funding rate heat map still relatively flat, right? If you look on a lower time frame, still relatively flat. Nothing quite like we saw in March, where we put in the $74,000 top on Bitcoin and then corrected down to $49,000 over 8-month time period, right? This shows you it's not too late. It's not too late to be putting in these positions, but soon it will be too late, right? By the time Bitcoin breaks about $115,000 and altcoins double in price once again, at that point in time, you probably are going to be a little bit too late. So stay tuned, watch the show each and every single day. Of course, jump into Whale Room as well. That's where the optimal alpha is found. The open interest and volume, though, has been rising, which is also a good sign in support of new market participants coming into the market. We want to see this continue to trend up. We've taken out the levels that we saw where Bitcoin topped out in $74,000 zone. And we've also taken out the prior cycle highs, right? So this is slowly starting to rise. This is a very, very good sign. We'll continue to monitor that. So looking at the Bitcoin chart over here, you can see we're moments away. The market is kind of bearish, which is absolutely unbelievable to me and very, very ironic since we literally trading around 4% away from the $100,000 psychological level. But this weekly candle shaping up to look really good. It'll be absolutely phenomenal if in the next 24 hours, we can actually see this candle turn green. That is going to be incredibly bullish. That's going to set things up for next week to be massively bullish within not only Bitcoin, but in the altcoin sector as well. So we spoke about in yesterday's show. Go back and watch that if you haven't already. You know the short-term bubble risk, and based on the extension away from the 20 weekly exponential moving average, how overextended are things? And the answer is it can get a lot more, right? Basically, in a nutshell, it's a business as usual. Everything is exactly where it should be in comparison to prior cycles in relationship to that 21 EMA, which we extended above, but we can go a lot higher. We can go a lot higher before it starts to get really, really scary over there, right? So everything is looking good. Let's go on to Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Looking at your pivot levels, you do have your pivot level over here at 99,355. That is the level to reclaim. Now, if we get back above that level, you'll start to turn your RSI back towards the upside. That's your relative strength index, showing that bulls control the momentum. Now, remember that the biggest, strongest moves tend to actually occur when you get that RSI trading above this 80 mark, right? So if you see the RSI get into that yellow zone, this is where your powerful moves, like it got into there and it rejected, it came back down, you know, it hit that 65 level. It's still remaining within the bull zone, right? The bull zone is the blue zone. We have now put the yellow box over there, but really you want to get and hold above that 80 mark. That's where you're going to see your powerful trending moves take place for Bitcoin. And that happens when Bitcoin gets above that, let's call it into the $100,000 territory. You should see newfound momentum coming in. Now, at the end of the day, I have spoken about there is a little bit of risk leading into the next 2-week time period, simply for the fact that we are going to be printing later today our bear moon, right? We've seen how the bear moon works before. You can just go back and look at one of the previous shows, but simply it creates a little bit of a consolidation for a 2-week period, but the trend is more powerful than any of these other factors and indicators. And I've always told you, don't ever use them in isolation. Use them as a confluent factor with multiple other things. And if they are in agreement with, you know, bearish divergences and things like that, you know, fair enough, right? Then you'd be looking for a deeper pullback. But for now, it's still trend in motion. It's high highs and high lows is the name of the game. You have support of the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average on Bitcoin over there, and it's looking really, really powerful. Now, What you want to see next in the coming hours, pretty much over the next day or so, the next 24 hours, is if you can see price break and specifically hold above this key level over here, that will take out that range high. This is your low time frame range high, right? So if you're a scalper, a low time frame trader, it's pretty simple, right? You're probably neutral in your positions right now. You would long the range low over here, get back inside the range. You take the long trade with a target to the top over here. And if you can't get back above the top, that's where you open up your short trades. Now, remember, plenty of traders do that, and they're placing their stop losses up here. And because they're placing their stop losses up there, you're getting this buildup of liquidity, right? You can see there's almost $100 million worth of stop losses up there. And for the market makers, that creates an optimal opportunity, right? So even for the exchanges, they know that they're going to get paid bank. If you can just get price into the zone, you're going to take out those positions over there, and that creates that squeeze, right? That squeeze, the short squeeze towards the upside. So we need to watch. We need to watch for something like that. At the end of the day, I don't really recommend shorting a strong trending bull market, especially as it's approaching that parabolic advancement phase, which we've spoken about. If you go back to this tweet, this is your parabolic advancement phase. It's not really wise to be shorting that, although I know a lot of people will be doing that. If you're controlling your risk and you're doing it as a hedge against your longs, it makes sense. But if you're trying to do it to actually make money, it's a terrible, terrible idea. We actually outlined in Whale Room when price was trading down here. You can go through to that tweet. We said the low, watch for the high low to form over here, and then price to run above that 96,777. That being the yellow line. We broke that yellow line. This was a sign of strength. I'm now going to delete that because it's played out. Now you just want to see continuation, and this becomes our next target, right? So that's what I believe will happen next. We should see price rally above that yellow box. If it holds there, bullish, right? Very, very, very bullish. We're going to see aggressive moves beyond that. And you will be very surprised at how quickly Bitcoin can go from 100,000 to 110,000 to possibly even 120,000, right? Think of it in percentages. For Bitcoin, it would only be a 10% move to go from 100 to 110,000, right? Pretty simple math over there. So more importantly, the altcoin sector. I do believe that Ethereum is going to outperform in a big way very, very soon. We've spoken about this for a long time, that we're looking for a major bottom by the end of December, right? And we've come into that zone. Falling wedge hits essentially almost right into that key horizontal support over there. That was your order block that led to the big move up. So you'd expect that price should revisit into that zone. We got super, super close, right? That's why we had all eyes on this particular area. We swept below the bottom of the trend line, broke back inside. That's your deviation. Now, I expect that you're going to break the yellow line. The yellow line is your break of structure. Remember, we spoke about this in the beginning of the show, looking at the others against BTC and total 3 against BTC. And we said we also want to see that break of structure. You're looking for the same thing over here for that confirmation. Now, I would say that there's a 90% chance you are going to see that. This is probably going to expand, whether it's this week, next week, or the week after. But in the next 3 weeks, I believe this will expand beyond that yellow line. And that's where the extreme greed and FOMO is very quickly going to come back into the market, right? So there it is. Fear and greed still sitting between that 90 and 100. That's where you're going to see a very quick and massive repricing, right? So we can look to the altcoin sector. We'll do some chart requests as well. Make sure that you let me know in the comments what you want to have a look at. I'll make sure to pull those up. And then again, guys, I saw in the comments a couple of you are saying there's no promo code. I'm not sure what promo code you're looking for the Whale Room Black Friday special. There isn't a promo code. It's literally as simple as if you go through to the link over here, all you need to do is scroll down. If you want to jump into Whale Room, when you click that link over there, it will take you through to the relevant page, and then essentially click sign up, right? It's going to give you the Black Friday special pricing, right? 42% off. So there it is. That's on a yearly special. Now, you guys risk much more money than that on a single meme coin. And you mostly lose it 99% of the time. I would really recommend that you at least try something out like this that will last you a year and probably make you all your money back in the first week, right? So use it, don't use it. You can see what some of the other traders have done, right? These are some of our traders posting their P&Ls and their profits from the last couple of days' trades, right? Huge, huge, huge gains, absolute winners. Winners back winners, right? That's what I always say, winners back winners. So let's look at some of the winners within the crypto sector. I'm going to very quickly run through just the layer ones, because in altcoin season, when you transition, from Bitcoin season into that altcoin season, what you typically see is that Ethereum begins to outperform Bitcoin, right? So we've looked at that. There it is. Ethereum begins to outperform Bitcoin. That will be shown by this chart. Once Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin, the next step is that you'll see the layer ones outperforming the majority of the coins. And then we have this rotation from layer ones into mid caps, and then mid caps into low caps, and then everything absolutely pumps, but the micro caps will pump the hardest at the end, and that's where you get to the end of the cycle, right? So that's why I want to just focus on the weekly scale on some of the layer ones, just to give you guys some perspective, right? Cardano, very, very bullish, looking very, very strong. It reclaimed this key level at 78 cents. And when even Cardano is strong, then you know what type of market you're moving into, right? Aptos, also looking really, really good. Closing and holding above the mid-range on the weekly scale, that coming in at 12.22, right? So very, very good. Pushing up over here, I'd be looking to target the top of the range. I'll give you a percentage. Aptos is a layer one blockchain, right? You're looking at about another 42%. If it gets back above this zone, price discovery, right? Then it's going to move into a new realm. I am holding Aptos for those of you wondering, right? Ethereum, breaking that downsloping trend line on a weekly scale, hit the range low, holding a support, and essentially, you know, you trade these things level to level. So the next level to watch for is going to be the range high, which is going to be coming in all the way over here. You'll probably find a little bit of resistance right around that mid-range level. So I'd be looking at something like this, and it shows you how early you expect that most of these are going to run into all-time highs. So mid-range, 46% move up, all the way to the range high, giving you 136% move up, and then you can still work off other targets that take you into price discovery. You know, you could easily be getting 300 to 400% on something like this. And this is to showcase, in accordance with the thumbnail, with the title of the show, Final Call. It is happening. It's happening right now. The prices are about to take off, and you can see a lot of the things are still near the lows, but they won't be for much longer, right? So you probably want to get your positions ready, right? Use risk management. Obviously, don't over leverage. I really recommend, for the majority of people, stick to spot trading. Most of you, if you're new to this market, you're going to lose all of your money, everything. I'm not joking. Everything, if you're going to dabble in leverage, right? So reserve a small amount of money for leverage. Okay, even dots is looking okay, pushing up towards the mid-range over here. If it can break back above this 1065, you should see acceleration to about 23. Okay, Atom hit the range low, holding that area as support, pushing up. You got your main resistance area over here. Things start to cook for this. If it can get above this level, let's just lower that ever so slightly. So around 15, break above 15, and then this thing will really get going. AVAX, approaching the downsloping trend line over there, reclaim the mid-range, which is coming in at 40. So if it can hold at about $50 over there, that's the start of your massive breakout. You got one more level to clear. That's 60, and then this thing should get going, right? You guys know, though, I prefer to back the newer projects that weren't pumping in the last cycle, that set in major highs. So things like AVAX, you know, fine, it's great for a trade, but I'm not necessarily looking to hold this for the entire cycle. If I take it, it's a short-term trade. What I am more interested in is things like TON, right? Things that haven't been around yet, because there's no PTSD from underwater buyers from the last cycle over here, right? The PTSD of all these people that typically you see the chart go like that, forms a base, and then it almost never pumps because all these guys are trying to exit, right? So something like TON over here looking really, really strong. You know, reaccumulation. I'm expecting this to rally up very, very hard. Our bags are packed already, holding 642. That's the key level. Expansion is expected up to about $8, break above $8, and very quickly will accelerate to only our first TP at $11.50. So really, really looking good. You guys know it in Whale Room. We have our leverage bet on resistance dog and resistance cat, which when TON breaks out to new highs, you're going to see those absolutely pump as well. Okay, Tron, TRX looking really good. Yeah, Justin's son, who recently bought the banana duct tape to a wall. I think he ate it already. $6.4 million or something. This is his coin. Know who you're backing, right? If you do want to get into this coin, that is whose coin it is. It's Justin's son's coin from Tron. Nevertheless, it is very bullish. New highs. One of the few that we identified early in the cycle that we said, you know, love him or hate him. This thing is very powerful as a chart. This was since the cycle lows, literally just straight up. Look at that, 369%. Very, very, very good chart. Very bullish, right? Casper Casper is starting to make a move over here. It's been caught within this range. We can better look at this on the a daily time frame, but we spoke about the importance of getting your exposure in at the mid-range, which was 14 cents. And this has been a long-term range, right? This has been reaccumulating essentially for a full year. So when it breaks and leaves the top side of this trading range, you're going to expect massive acceleration, much higher. Minimum target over there is already 28, right? So that is on Casper. SUI also looking very strong, starting to consolidate. You've had your 1 up, 2 which is down, 3 up, and then 4 your little consolidation over here. So you're looking for the 5th wave up, and that could take it to about 494, possibly even 665. So I'm looking for higher, everything higher. There's hardly anything that I think is going to go down, right? Injective looking similar to Casper, reclaiming that mid-range level after a very long reaccumulation, right? Let's see timing wise. Also almost a 1-year reaccumulation within the zone. If you can hold the mid-range, target up to about $43, break out of that, and then you can go up to $70 over there. It's going to be looking super bullish, right? Let's go to NEAR. Let's see, NEAR is still looking good. I'll look at NEAR on the daily because I am in trades on that as well. Phantom also looking good. Phantom pushing towards the range high resistance at $1.22. Break and hold above $1.22, and then of course you start to target those previous highs, right? Then it's going to be looking good. Okay, Say also one of the newest, at least layer ones that are out there, holding above that mid-range, wicked into it, held it perfectly over there. Look for acceleration up to about 970, percentage move. That's still giving you about a 45%. So these are the trade opportunities that are out there, right? If you are looking for opportunities, you even have Pulse Chain rallying, right? Look at that, Pulse Chain all the way up. Now, these are not new all-time highs because they don't have enough price issue over here. I think that probably, it did something like this if you had the rest of the chart over there. But nevertheless, creating that rounded bottom, right? So looking decent over there. This shows you that we're moving into that altcoin season when everything begins to run. So we can go into some of the chart requests. I did say I'd show you Casper on the daily just very quickly to reiterate. That's what we're looking for, right? The pullback into this level, you got the wick perfectly hitting the mid-range over there, and now you're looking for acceleration. My expectation is this is what this chart's probably going to do in the coming days and weeks. It is part of my portfolio. I do want to remind you guys, I have given my portfolio to the Whale Room members. Let me quickly find it over here just to show you. I actually gave you the updated version yesterday. If you do go into Whale Room, it is all there. You can see Casper is about 5.26% of my overall portfolio. Solana is my biggest position over there. This is CoinStats. It's a portfolio tracker where you can essentially track your equity curve. You can see I have probably around 100 different portfolios on the top right there that are connected in the form of Phantom wallets, MetaMask wallets, various different exchanges. Remember, I trade across about 7 or 8 different exchanges, and you can connect all of these to that wallet, right? They're running a huge Black Friday special. I truly see this as a once-off opportunity. I had to negotiate with them for you guys for months to get this opportunity. 80% off, guys. 80%. Most Black Friday things you're going to get 60%, maximum 70%. These guys are giving you 80% off. Use the link, grab the deal while you still can. It's only $2.80 per month, less than the price of a cappuccino. That is CoinStats, right? The link is below. And then for those of you in Whale Room, you can go and check up on my portfolio, right? I do want to let you know as well, when it comes to the portfolio management, we're going to be rebalancing things following the next move up. If Bitcoin pushes to about $125,000 in quick order, that's where we're going to be consolidating some of that portfolio. So make sure you pay attention to the portfolio section when I do drop that into the Whale Room Discord, right? We can go through a couple of other requests over there. Also in Whale Room, guys, you have your spreadsheets. I've been getting this question a lot. Where do you find them? Go through to the documents section. Click on that. It will open up this page. This is all the educational videos. If you're a new person that's just come into crypto and you want to learn different strategies, that's in there. And then you got all the blog posts, which are free for everyone else as well, right? So that is all there. All right, what else have we got, guys? Let's have a look at some of the meme coin sector, right? I think we have to look to memes because memes have been one of the top performers. But recently we've seen the likes of AI, outperforming. Now, we got into these positions really early over here, down in the circle. This is EOS pumping over there. Let's just quickly check everything out. Render following our trajectory, looking really good. Let's see FET looking good. holding above the yellow. I'm expecting acceleration up to 263. What about 𝗬? How's 𝗬 doing? Long trades in play, everything looking good. Okay, let's go to some of the memes, right? How are the meme coins doing? Brett, consolidation under all-time highs or under this range high level over here is very bullish, right? Don't mistake in that, right? Consolidating under resistance level for long periods of time tends to lead to big explosive breakouts. And that is part of the reason why Brett is 8% on my portfolio. It started off as about 2%, now up to 8% because I've done about a 4x on this thing already. And we're looking for rapid expansion, another 63% up. That's going to go to about 28 cents over there on Brett. This is your exposure to base chain. It is the meme coin built on base, but you can't buy the base token. So people always say, buy the layer 1 token, right? Or the chains token, which you can't. Buy the meme coin, which you can, and then buy the DEX, which you can't, right? So there's one option. Buy the meme coin. I bought Brett. Brett is my exposure to base. Let's see 𝗕𝗘𝗓, right? 𝗕𝗘𝗓 looking really good. We spoke about it, perfectly hitting the 50% level, the prior all-time high over there, testing that absolutely perfectly. And I think that this is a leverage bet on Ethereum, right, as well. So if you are bullish on Ethereum, if you think that ETH BTC is going to do this and Ethereum is going to pump, we should actually look at Ethereum over here quickly on the 2-week scale to showcase to you what's happening. If you think that this is going to break out, which I do, then coins like 𝗕𝗘𝗓 are leverage bets without actually taking on a derivatives contract or actual leverage on an exchange, giving you that massive upside potential, right? So there it is. Huge cup and handle formation, breaking the neckline right now as we speak. I'll be looking for acceleration to about $4,000. It'll probably consolidate a little bit at 4K. And then you're looking for a huge move beyond that point, and that will pump 𝗕𝗘𝗓 much, much, much higher, right? So you can always work out some of those targets. Let's have a look over here. Just quickly looking at some of these fib extensions. So there it is, fib extensions. You've already hit that 1.618. You could easily go to the 3.618 for 𝗕𝗘𝗓, which is the frog on Ethereum. 122% move, right? That would be a 122% move. So are the memes over? Are they wrecked? That is the question. Let's verify, right? Doesn't look like it to me, right? I think the sentiment has died off. But if you look at the price, well, what has the price done? Doge continues to move up, right? Doge continues to move up. Shiba Inu continues to move up. Okay, let's go to Billy. Billy still reaccumulating down here at the lows. This is one of my positions. I might rebalance out of this following the next big pump, but we'll keep an eye out on that. Other ones that we have in our portfolio, let's have a look. Let's double check 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, which I think 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had a little bit of a tough time recently. Let's just see. Pulled back. Okay, key levels, 50% level, similar to 𝗕𝗘𝗓. We showed 𝗕𝗘𝗓 coming into that 50% level, holding that, and then you're looking for the high low to form, and then rapid price appreciation, right? SPX 6900, probably better shown on, I'll show you on another chart because that one doesn't have enough history. Myro, we're still long on Myro. We establish our positions down here at the lows. I'm going to continue to hold. I think that over time, this is going to slowly climb up to about 40 cents over there, which for Myro as a meme coin is going to be huge, right? 262%. Turbo. Okay, Turbo needs to reclaim these levels very, very quickly. We spoke about the risk of breaking this trend line, deviating below the range low. If it can't get back above, like the white line that we've drawn over here very quickly, then ultimately this is going to roll over. It's probably going to go down to about mid-range, which is 0.0051, right? Let's see, MOG, also another one of my big positions. I think looking pretty decent, consolidating at those highs over here, and I'm looking for expansion as this is also a leverage bet on Ethereum. If Ethereum breaks out, I think that MOG will perform even better, right? So we'll keep an eye out on that one. FOG, let's see FOG. Okay, pulling back to the 50% level, very similar to what we've seen on 𝗕𝗘𝗓, very similar to 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's doing the same thing, right? Consolidating at that 50% level over here. If it can hold up, you're looking at expansion with the next leg up. Okay, Ponky, right? Ponky pulled back into the prior all-time highs. Now it's starting to deviate and get back above. That means targeting up to about $1 percentage-wise, about another 71% to get to that level, right? So that is Ponky. What else have we got? Let's see Foxy. Okay, Foxy looking good. Foxy holding up above the mid-range over here. Similar to Ponky, deviated the range high. We're now looking to reclaim that at 0.015. If you can break and hold above that, target becomes 0.026. Now, like with Brett is our leverage bet on base and our actual only way to get proper exposure to base chain. If you want exposure to linear, well, Foxy would be the equivalent of Brett, right? Foxy is the exposure to linear. So you can check that one out over there as well. So far, I think that, most of these coins look fine. 𝗕𝗢 as well coming down into major support. I think that the sentiment has dropped off, but I think that the memes have come perfectly back to test the exact levels that we anticipated. And now we're looking for this next, right? There's our drawings. We drew this in weeks ago. We're looking for the reaccumulation over here and then higher prices on things like 𝗕𝗢, right? So let's see, what else? Goku, yeah, we can have a look at Goku and then we'll look at that SPX 6900 as well. Here's Goku, still looking decent. Nice reaccumulation within this chart. I just want to see it keep defending between 0.0040 and on the top side 0.010, and then that should be higher prices at a later date, right? So SPX, let's go to SPX 6900 with more price history over here to just have a look at this. So there it is, range bound, right? It hit this level over here perfectly, 48 cents. We said if it does lose that level, if it loses it again, then you have to look down towards the order block, which is coming in around 30 over there. So meme coins are a high risk game, right? These are big differences in price, right? If you lose that level, it drops 30%. But if you hold that level, it pumps 55% to get to mid-range, and if it gets to the range high, you're looking at about 100% move from that range low. And when you break above this range high, now you're starting to target much higher, like a $1.64, kind of within those regions. So, it's looking good, right? Everything is looking good. Everything is following according to plan. I can't see any way that I would change a thing with how we've played this market for the last couple of years since the bear market lows. It's been absolutely perfect. You let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you want us to have a look at. I will take a couple more requests. I see, are we, Filecoin, when, Prime? We'll have a look at some of those. Remember, of course, I am long on some of those, like Prime. We're up a lot. This is a good trade. We're up 123% over there. Let's continue to keep an eye out on that. What other sectors should we have a look at? Should we quickly scroll through gaming? By the way, for anyone new here, if you do want to learn how to trade, there is an accelerator program where you can learn how to trade in just 10 days, right? Trade like a whale in 10 days. This is my school that I created. It's completely free. You don't have to pay 1 single cent. All you need to do is click the link in the description below. Go look for where it says Whale School, which is over here. Learn to trade like a whale in just 10 days. Click on that link because we actually begin next week, right? We begin on Wednesday in 4 days' time. It's going to be rapid. It's going to be fast. It's going to be exciting. Actually, it's on Tuesday. We've changed it now because I think we're doing Tuesday and Friday or something, or it's Wednesday and Fridays. But sign up, put your email in. It's only while spots are still available. Obviously, things go very quick. This is for those of you, who have never learned how to trade. You want to learn everything that I know from A to Z. It's completely free, right? Completely free. All right, what else do we have, guys? What else do we have? Okay, we said yes. Let's have a look. Let's double check on our other longs that we have. So the Vulcan Forge trade, I'm happy to continue to hold. I'm looking for a move up over here to 520, and then after that, still up to $10. So no changes there for me personally. Prime, I'm also happy. Look at that little consolidation. Holding this level, this tells me that Prime is probably going to expand very quickly to the first TP, which is your underside resistance at about another 13% up. That's going to take you just shy of $14, right? But if you can break aggressively through that level, it's not to say that, you're going to hit that level and suddenly just reject, especially when there's a lot of momentum backing the market. You may actually see this, right? It may just run it through, come back, test it as support at that, around that 1380, hold that, create yet another high low, and then bang, bang, we start to target much higher all the way towards 28. So I'm going to continue to hold that trade. That's why I firmly believe those leverage trades that we have on the table, which we got in much earlier, those are going to be those are going to be thousands of percent up, right? Thousands and thousands. We did it in March. The difference between, and I want to show you over here, we did it in March during this period where things got heated, right? We established those positions in January. We rode them all the way up into March. Remember, I closed all those positions at the top over there, and we were up thousands of percent. You guys remember some of those trades like WIF? I was up something like 48,000% on that trade. Well, we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it even bigger, because the difference over here is we're not expecting to put in a local top, but the cycle top, a blow-off top within the overall sector, crypto sector. With what we didn't have before was the breakdown of Bitcoin dominance. We were trading those coins that were strong against Bitcoin dominance. As Bitcoin dominance was going up, our coins were going up more. Now imagine what happens when that Bitcoin dominance drops, right? And we're still in the strong altcoins. We are going to absolutely coin it. It's going to be amazing, amazing. We've waited for this for a long time. I really relate being a professional crypto trader to being an Olympic athlete, because Olympic athletes train for 4 years and then they go to the Olympic finals, right? And it all comes down to that a couple of weeks that they're at the finals. It's the same thing for crypto, right? We train for 4 years. We go through a full 4-year cycle, and it all comes together in the end. We're going to make the majority of our money in the last couple of weeks at that finals, in the finals of that game. But all the groundwork, all the preparation, all the hard work has already been done. We're now here to reap the reward, right? And basically get our fruits for our labors, right? So it's looking really good. I really want to congratulate each and every one of you. Honestly, I know so many of you have been with me since the beginning. I know I have a strong base of at least 30,000 of you who have stuck with me since day one. And I really want to thank you so much. This is why we win together, right? Well done, everyone. All right, let's continue. What else? What else have we got, guys? Let's see, Pendle. We must look at Pendle, because I know Pendle suddenly put in a huge pump and has been one of the coins that we outlined ages ago as a top performer, right? Against Bitcoin. It had been putting in high highs and high lows throughout, and there it is, right? Still very, very strong. High highs and high lows. Very big range. Call this reaccumulation, if you will, on a high time frame, similar to Casper, similar to Injective, almost a 1-year reaccumulation. Very rapid rally into that April-March period. March-April, 74K high for Bitcoin, came all the way back down to the bottom of the range. Pretty brutal. Reaccumulates, and this is the level to take out, right? So if you can get back above 727, you're talking about some big bad moves well beyond that level. And remember, you can work these things out. I do teach this all in Whale School, right? You've got your rectangle. Rectangles provide measured moves. The breakout of that level gives you a measured move up to about $12, right? So on Pendle, you're looking at about another 110% before you probably find some sort of a local top, right? So all in all, looking really, really good. Any good entries today? I see there's a question about that. That's why we need to run through everything, right? I said that one of the things that we outlined in terms of the layer ones that just comes to mind was, of course, Ethereum. So let's look at Ethereum on the daily. So here's Ethereum on the daily. You are breaking those key levels. Maybe this could be one, right? There it is. Perfect break of that trend line over there. You're coming into the range quarterly. So you got your range high, you got your mid-range, and you got your range low. Let's check out where is that mid-range of the range low, which is going to be what we call the range quarterly. And there it is, right? That is your resistance level. So, this could be a trade setup. This would be something I'd be looking at. I would have preferred to enter into this, of course, on Thursday, but I didn't identify this until today because I'm already 100% long, guys. I mean, what must I do? I have no more money to put in. I'm already in the Ethereum trade. But you asked the question, any other trade opportunities? Look, this would be pretty much a hard invalidation. I'll put in the risk to reward tool. If you can get it a little bit lower, if this comes back down, it gets a bit choppy and you can get in that environment, great. Stops, I would be putting underneath this candle. This is the candle that occurred on Wednesday, the 20th. So I'd stop out underneath that candle over there. And where can you start to target? Well, there's a lot of targets in play, right? First target, easy target all the way up to the top of the range. That gives you a 48% move. If you can get back above that level, well, then all the way to the range high on Ethereum. I'm already long on Ethereum, but there's a trade for you. That would be one thing that I'd be looking for. Now, of course, you can't necessarily go high leverage on this, right? To learn more about that, I really just recommend join Whale School, right? I teach risk management. This is what you'll learn there, by the way. These are the lessons, right? Risk management, support and resistance, how to read candlesticks at the extremities of those key support and resistance levels, chart patterns and how you can work out measured moves using the chart patterns, ranges and trends. Remember, you can't drive a Ferrari in the desert, and you also can't race a buggy on a Ferrari's racetrack, right? You have to have the right vehicle for the right environment. So you need to trade ranges within range, ranging markets or range strategies in ranging markets, and trend strategies in trending markets. We cover moving average strategies, which ties in with those ranges and trends, market cycles, the 18.6-year real estate cycle, the crypto cycles, Wyckoff accumulation and distribution schematics, and how the market moves through ebbs and flows, and how you should be positioned in your portfolio at each given point in time within the cycle. Remember in the beginning of the show, I said that I was going to tell the members in the whale room when we are going to actually reconsolidate our portfolio, which is going to be on the next move up. That's got everything to do with where we are in the particular part of the crypto cycle, right? We focus on liquidity, which I cover quite a lot on the show as well, but this will be more extensive. So where's that liquidity chart where we're looking at? Here we go. Liquidity, where are the orders placed? How do the market makers target those levels? We cover volatility, how to time your entries in periods of low volatility and exit during periods of high volatility. And then the most important lesson of all, second most after risk management, I would say, is trade execution, right? How do you actually enter into the trade? That's what it all comes down to, right? There's only two things that you can really do in trading, is clicking the buy button or the sell button. So it all comes down to that execution of the trade, right? So if you do want to join, there it is. For those of you that want to get into Whale Room, there it is. Remember, the newsletter is free. That we're giving a trade a day on this for free for you guys that want to see what the Whale Room's about, but you don't want to dip your toes. Just understand, if you don't want to dip your toes, it's going to go up a lot. You have 1 minute left. 1 minute left to join, right? 1 minute left. Use the link below. If the clock runs out over here, I mean, you can always try. Maybe you can override the system. I don't know. But I think that's it from me, folks. I'll catch you all on the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Get your Black Friday specials while they're here. The Whale Room. You have coin stats. You have all the exchanges giving you rebates as well right now. If you use the links below, they're all giving you bonuses and discounts on commission fees. I'll see you all on the next one. I hope you have a stellar weekend. And may we see Bitcoin over $100,000 by next week. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.